celebrating your life, 60 years of life, but you advocate for other mothers to kill their babies when yours didn't kill you. Happy birthday to ya. So you get to live and celebrate, but 1 million+ babies died in just 1 year, this past year. 1 million babies plus was executed in their mother's wombs. And who is their number one fan standing up to kill babies? Happy birthday to ya. But you get to live, you get to celebrate. Here we go again. Look out for the fireballs. The nasty Jezebel harlots plays the church just like a fiddle. Hello, friend, and welcome back to The Conservative Poet with me, Amania. As you know, on this channel, we talk everything politics, reactions, political commentary, a little bit of humor, some parody to drive home the crazies that we are seeing in the society. So if you're back, that means you enjoyed the content. So help me out, friend. Like, share, and comment. That way other people can find the conservative poet and they can enjoy this awesome content that we're putting out. So thank you very much for your participation. Again, like, share, comment. It all helps me out. Without further ado, we're going to get into this video right now. So friends, it is time to pander to the Black people, the Black church per se. It's time to go out there Sunday morning and praise and worship, pray to somebody. I don't know who, but they ain't praying to my God. I don't know who they praying to, but I'm just saying. But it's Sunday morning, and so the political space is on speed, hitting one church after another. And friends, we see it in our own neighborhoods because they will show up at your church. And so that is what's happened now. And the dear friend, Vice President Kamala Harris, is making the rounds, and she ends up at New Birth Church in Atlanta with our friend, oh God, what's his name? He just done slipped through my mind, but I'll get him in a minute. But yes, so if you remember, a few months ago, they had a tribute to Fani Willis because Fani Willis, just like Kamala Harris, showed up to the church after she lied and sinned and sinned and lied and lied and sinned and sinned and lied. And they show up to the church so that they can get the church to tell their women, because there's not a whole lot of men in the church, to tell their women to vote for Kamala Harris, of course. And so the rounds are being made and they hit this church, and we are going to talk about it. You ready? We're going on the church tour. Sins and sinners. So Kamala Harris was introduced by Pastor Jamal Bryant. See, it came back to me. Pastor Jamal Bryant, who, by the way, is not a man of God, who is as April would put it, a pulpit pimp. And yeah, he's just not a good dude. He's just not a good guy. He's leading people straight into the highway to hell. And I made a video about that in reference to Fani Willis some time back. So we're not going to follow that up again. But anyway, he is leading people straight to hell. And so before her serenation, when they brought her onto the stage, I want us to take a look at how she was introduced. And then I want to come back and give a comment on that. birthday to you.
Is our moment. Your unborn great-grandchildren are going to ask you, what were you doing October 20th, 2024, and you were in the room for the first Black woman vice president of the United States? Would you make some noise and receive our fearless leader?
Thank you.
Before I move on to my comment about this particular clip, that church, just from viewing it from the perspective of online, never stepping foot in the room, dude, I can tell you that the demon spirit is real and it is there. Just the aura of it, just the look of it, just the sense of it. I can feel the presence of the demons in that place. And what I'm picturing is not, it's not even a church. It doesn't even resemble church. It's just like an open space with the podium, with the stage, not even a podium. It's a stage where the people come to act. It's a stage where the devil comes to play. It's a stage where they come to put on a show. Not preaching the gospel, not preaching the word, not trying to save souls, but it's a place for them to come and for them to act and play church or play club. Because if you removed, do we even have a Bible in there? If you remove some of these things, all you got is people in their seats ready to, they ready to do that. They ready to do that. And it is a shame that this is how the people treat so-called house of God. Jamal Highway to Hell Bryant stated in this thing, when, as in his introduction, he says that your great-grandchildren is going to ask you one day, where were you on October 20th, 2024? And you were right here at New Birth, being serenaded. You were right here at New Birth, being called and labeled and put to the first Black president of the United States of America. So here's where I want to go. First of all, Kamala Harris has not birthed any children. She has not birthed any babies. So therefore, great-grandchildren, that would assume that you've had babies, and she's just celebrating her 60th, unless she's like, I don't know, Elizabeth from the Bible, and God is going to bless her womb once again in her old age. I don't see it happening. Right? So she is not going to be doing that. Sitting around with her grandbabies, talking about life and what she done and where she was in October 20th, 2024. Okay? Because she ain't got no babies. She ain't never had none. Friend, are you exhausted with the gaslighting from the left? Because I know I am. And sometimes it can be a tad bit stressful. And in those moments, I whip out my patriotic candles and I burn for freedom. I burn for our country. And I get a little bit of relief from the insanity that's coming from the left. So today you can get it 30% off at the Orlando Patriot. Grab yourselves some candles to relieve your stress as we hone into this election and it's becoming more and more stressful. Grab some for your friends, family, even grab some for a liberal or a leftist because they are stressed out too. So 30% off orlandopatriot.com. I'll see you there. Thank you. I really appreciate your help.
Of course, among the leaders upon whose broad shoulders we stand, Congressman John Lewis, they all knew, and by their example, they taught us that faith and good works go hand in hand. And that is especially true when it comes to protecting our sacred right to vote and getting souls to the polls. And I thank everyone for all you are doing in that regard.
Wait a minute there, Madam Vice President. The people's sacred right to vote? Ma'am, do we need to remind you again that the people didn't vote for you? That you and the Democrats did a coup against Joe Biden? And you took this position that you're in now, this candidacy that you're doing right now? Nobody voted for you? Our sacred right to vote? Well, you took the people's right to vote. And now you have flooded this country with millions and millions and millions of illegals to vote for you in our secret right to vote. You're a hypocrite, madame.
And I am truly honored to be in the presence of so many extraordinary leaders, including my pastor, Reverend Dr. Amos C. Brown of Third Baptist Church of San Francisco, who you heard from earlier this morning. There he is. There he is. And whose wisdom, Dr. Brown, has guided me and just been a source of comfort and solace for me for so many years.
So, from what I'm seeing here, Kamala Harris has had some bad pastoring. She's had some terrible pastors leading her on the road to hell. Just like Jamal Bryant here. Her pastor and him are one of the same. Leading people down a road of destruction. So here you are with your pastor in a church celebrating death of innocent blood, death of innocent babies. And they're here to celebrate you and to push you when they call their pulpits, when they call this establishment a house of God. And in the Bible, they're teaching from the book that says that thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not kill. But these men of God, are here advocating to present this woman to be the leader of a movement so demonic, so evil, so wicked, as to where we're killing innocent babies for no reason at all. Women can't keep their legs closed. They can't put themselves in a marriage situation. They're using birth control they're using death as birth control. And we're not talking about the 1% of the population that has abortions because of health issues, incest, rape. That's not what we're even talking about. That's 1% we're talking about the 99% that uses this form of birth control, death. And the Bible say, thou shalt not kill. The Bible say to protect which has been formed in the mother's womb. But no, this woman has some bad pastors around her. And the same way she's out here doing this because her pastor stands with her and behind her, it's the same way those people in Jamal Bryant Church, all of these people, is on where? They're on the highway to hell. We're going to have to pray. We're going to have to pray. I'm going to go pray.
So in the gospel, we are told of a man who traveled from the road from Jerusalem to Jericho. And while traveling, he was attacked by robbers. We remember he was beaten. He was bloodied. They left him for dead. He was someone that should just be passed on by, maybe with a glance of pity, but not more. So one person passed by, sees the man lying in his path, and walks around him, not wanting to be bothered or obstructed on the path that he decided to walk. A second man does the same. But then a Samaritan walks by. He sees the man and he stops. The Samaritan bandages the stranger's wounds. He brings him to an inn, gives him shelter and a hot meal, and he saves the man's life. This parable, the parable of the Good Samaritan, teaches us to love thy neighbor as thyself.
Seen that, heard that, good. So, in the telling of Kamala's parable here, the writing is on the wall, so if you're not seeing it, I'm going to see it for us. So what she is essentially is saying here, that the people, the millions of people that's flooding into this country are neighbors. We're supposed to just open up, give them a hot meal, give them a place to live, give them everything that they need, bathe them, love them, cherish them, all that. That's what we're supposed to do for all of these people. And when I say that I do believe in being charitable to people, I believe in being charitable to those people that I see down the street. That when I go to the supermarket, they're waiting in line for me to give them a quarter. They're waiting for me to put $1 in their hands. Or those people that I see out there on the road when I'm driving around with their cards, please help us. God is good. God loves you. You know those guys. I would essentially want to help them. But when you bring in millions and millions of people without any end, that is insanity. Not a man walking into the country, one man. No. This is millions. And we, unfortunately, are not sustainable to take care of so many people. If you had a gate where one can come in and one can go to another country and one can go to another country, all of these neighboring countries that can take some of these people, but no, all roads lead to America. And unfortunately, Kamala Harris, your parable just doesn't work. When we have so many people here in need, and then you send so much taxpayer money to these other countries anyway. If you're sending money to those countries, why are they coming here? It doesn't make any sense. So your parable, friend, just doesn't work. How about we start taking care of our neighbors next door? Not across the country, not across the world, but our neighbors right next door down the street. Or your neighbors in San Francisco where you're behind your closed gates, those people sleeping out there on Skid Row. How about you neighboring to them? How about you going to get them and bringing them to your fancy house and feeding them a hot meal and bathing them and scrubbing the dirt off of them? How about you do that? Skid Row, it's right in your neighborhood. San Francisco, right? Los Angeles, right? We see the videos. We know what's going on out there. I'd love to see you go out there and bring the homeless into your house with your doggy. So you can wash collard greens in the tub and feed them all. Like to see you do that. So a week or so back, Kamala Harris had a rally. And in her rally, she was being heckled by some Christian people, some Christian students in the rally. And so they shouted out, "Christ is King," or "Jesus is Lord," or something to that effect. And so Kamala had other things to say to them. She was not very kind in referencing them. She told them, "Honey, you in the wrong place, because we ain't talking about no Jesus up in here. You in the wrong place." Let's see.
Donald Trump hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade, and they did as he intended. Oh, you guys are at the wrong rally. No, I think you meant to go to the smaller one down the street. Come on.
And just a few days after that moment, where was she? Crawling on her belly into the church. And to do what? To be praised, to be worshiped like she is some sort of queen. And they've done that. You saw it. They serenaded her. And so they've done that. So who, Kamala, are you praying to in this church? Who are you here to worship? Who are you here to talk to in this church? Who are you here to see in the church? It is disgraceful and it is disgusting that you would stand on your soapbox at your rally and to say to that person, "You're at the wrong rally. Jesus ain't here. This is no place for Jesus. If you want Jesus, you better go to the other place, because he ain't here." But now here you at the church making church rounds. Who you trying to call on? You calling on Jesus? You calling on God? You calling Lord of Lords, King of Kings? Who you calling on in there at New Birth? Disgusting.
Lord, in the name of Jesus, I pray a hedge fence of protection around your daughter. No hurt, harm, or danger. I pray that you'll assign 100,000 angels to cover her head. Thank you, dear Lord, that you have given her this moment to defy the odds in front of the entire world. Now, God, not for her name, but we promise we're going to give you all of the victory.
And they put hands on her, praying over her, calling on Jesus to send the angels to cover her. And they're going to give him all the glory. Again, friends, don't know who they praying to, don't know what angels is coming, don't know who they're going to give all this glory to. Because this person, these people, are not of righteousness. These people are of the demons and of the demonic and of the devil. That's who they are. Democrats. 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 That's all I got. Well, friends, we're going to leave it there. I'm going to say thank you for taking the time to go down this little, what's that, a train? Whatever it is, thanks for coming on and joining me in this thing, because man, I tell you, this Kamala Harris thing, this thing is crazy. They don't know, they don't recognize God as king. They don't recognize that, but here they are standing praying. Oh God, hands on her. They probably covered her in baby oil and all that too, holy oil. They probably covered her in oil too. Praying to Jesus. Jesus who? You at the wrong rally. You at the wrong rally, because we don't know no Jesus up in here. Talk to me in the comments, friends. Let's do it in the comments. I'll see y'all in there. God bless you and keep you. And I can't wait for this to be over. Trump 2024. Trump 2024.